In a comprehensive policy dialogue, I emphasized a renewed approach to international economic engagement, highlighting that, America first does not mean America alone. I clarified that the United States seeks to lead global institutions like the IMF and World Bank by returning to foundational principles and prioritizing measurable outcomes. Drawing from my private sector background, I stressed the importance of results and timelines, advocating for a back-to-basics strategy in international cooperation and financial diplomacy. I also addressed concerns about U.S. withdrawal from global institutions, reassuring that this administration is committed to leadership, not isolation. I discussed China's role in the global economy, particularly its large manufacturing capacity and reliance on export-led growth. I proposed a mutual rebalancing, with the United States shifting toward manufacturing and China focusing more on domestic consumption. I referenced Japan's economic turnaround as a model and suggested that China may follow a similar path, especially if given the right external incentives. This, I argued, presents an opportunity for a beautiful rebalancing of global economic priorities. Turning to the United States economy, I highlighted the country's fiscal imbalance, pointing out the unsustainability of running deficits at 6% of GDP during peak economic cycles. I asserted that the United States does not have a revenue problem but a spending problem, and emphasized the need to reduce deficits to more manageable levels. I tied fiscal discipline to broader trade imbalances, and explained that trade deficits stem from external trade policies, government budget deficits, and the strength of the US dollar. On currency, I reaffirmed a strong dollar policy, noting it symbolizes global confidence in US policy, not a specific exchange rate. The discussion moved to Europe, where I saw economic optimism and honestly a real potential for the region to take on more global demand. I credited President Trump's push for greater fiscal stimulus in Europe, especially from Germany, as a key catalyst for change. I welcomed Europe's steps toward increased defense spending and economic burden sharing, reiterating that economic and national security are deeply interconnected. Regarding the IMF and World Bank, I criticized what I called mission creep and called for refocusing these institutions on their core objectives. I advocated for graduating middle-income countries, including China, from World Bank assistance, saying they must assume responsibilities matching their economic stature. On energy, I supported an all-of-the-above approach, including fossil fuels and nuclear power, especially for developing countries needing reliable energy sources for growth. Finally, I addressed financial regulation. I expressed concern that post-2008 regulations had overly constrained traditional banks, driving credit activity into less regulated private markets. I advocated for recalibrating regulations to allow community and regional banks, key lenders to agriculture and small businesses, to thrive. I emphasized that revitalizing Main Street is, crucial to balanced economic growth, and called for smarter, more flexible oversight. Throughout, my tone remained pragmatic, focused on rebalancing global economic relationships while reinforcing America's leadership role.